We have just finished watching WWE Great Balls of Fire, the first ever Great Balls of Fire.
Please let it be the last.
If you want to go all out in the gimmick, I'm fine with it. But it's not a good name for a pay-per-view if you're not going to make it anything kind of nostalgist.
Next week, make sure you tune in for WWE pay-per-view Muskrat Love, since we're picking weird songs.
That would be really weird. So, let's go through the card here. We opened up with Neville versus Akira Tozawa. I missed this because I was in the bathroom. You missed this because you fell asleep
on the couch.
Yeah. So, we have no thoughts of this match beyond the recap that happened later on, which was basically Tozawa lost to a rope in the balls.
Yeah, thank God we don't actually have to watch matches. They could just replay them endlessly during the other fucking matches. What the hell's wrong with you people?
Yeah, I did kind of enjoy the Titus Brand spot in the locker room with Titus asking him what he wants him to do, and he's going to go try and get him the rematch. Like a manager should do. So I'm kind of down with that. Then we move on to the actual pay-per-view, which was Bray Wyatt versus Seth Rollins.
Boring.
I enjoyed the match, but it wasn't anything I would watch again. It was reasonable. Bray Wyatt winning with a thumb to the eye and a Sister Abigail, so a bit of a fuck finish. And at least they gave Bray a win. I'll give it that, because I was afraid Seth was just going to win here.
It's pretty much, he's your poster boy. He needs to win all the matches. I was happy that Bray won. I don't mind that he cheated to win, because he's not supposed to be a very good guy.
Not at all. I'm perfectly fine with the ending.
Yeah, it was fine, but the match itself was boring. So, just like this feud, it should now be over, and let's just carry on, shall we?
It won't be, because you can't end the feud on a fuck finish. So, we will get more. These two do not have great chemistry in the ring together.
Don't have great chemistry, period.
None of their matches has... Seth Rollins doesn't have great chemistry in the mic with anyone, it seems, so I'm kind of... I'm looking for in-ring chemistry at this point. So nothing's been great here, and these two both can work, so... I would probably let them do other things, but we'd probably have at least one more match in us.
Well, yeah, they'll make this go all the way to SummerSlam for no determinable... my brain's not working. Discernible reason.
There you go.
That's what I was trying to say.
So then we had some backstage and promo package stuff. We had backstage with the Hardys, standard stuff. Basically kind of running down the history of the Hardys, which is nice. And then Enzo and Cass got themselves a promo package, which was really good, actually. I enjoyed this one. But they overuse this. They give it to so many different matches that it kind of ruins the specialness of having a promo package for your match.
Yeah.
So that's the negative. Then we had Enzo and Cass. Take it away, Byron.
I refuse. Okay, I will. Basically, again, Enzo delivers on the mic, $1 million mouth. That guy can do no wrong. I don't understand. I understand that I guess that Vince likes big sweaty men, and therefore this has to be a feud, but it really shouldn't be. It really should just be, Big Cass on his. If you want Big Cass to have a solo career, you can do that with the manager, and it'll be awesome because Enzo's awesome, and that's how you do these things. I don't know. Does Vince need a wrestle by numbers calendar or something?
I don't understand really know.
This. But it was a great promo, fantastic promo. The match was as I kind of expected it to go. I thought that they'd give Enzo more offense than he had, or more attempts at offense. This was just sort of a very slow squash match with occasional flurries. So the match was...
I would have really given Enzo a cheap win here, because this match leaves it what am I supposed to want to see after this?
Yeah, pretty much.
And at least if you give Enzo a cheap win, you still get over Cass as a dominant force, and you can revisit this, but this feud is over, right?
Yeah, well, no, because they don't know how to end feuds anymore, just like they don't know how to make faces.
Probably. I guess you could transition to Enzo kind of managing the Big Show in a feud with Cass, maybe?
I guess.
That could work. And then we had an Angle documentary promo. The only thing notable here is that there was a Dixie Carter sighting in a WWE program. What the hell?
That's a little weird. I guess since she's not technically with the competition anymore.
Well, she still is. Like, she's still a shareholder in Global Force.
Is she? I thought they just totally ditched
I believe
her.
they have her on the board of directors as a special advisor. She just doesn't... She has no actual power, but it's a ceremonial type deal. Like, she's still getting some level of financial involvement. Because the big sticking thing with the Carters has always been that Dixie Carter can't be forced out by any buyer. Like, they refuse to let her be completely booted. And I'm pretty sure that's the case. I'll look that up while we, at an appropriate time, we can go back to it.
It's not important, really, at all.
It's not, but take us through Hardy's and Cesaro. Hardy's versus Cesaro and Sheamus. I'll look that up just to make sure we're not giving you inappropriate advice.
This was not exactly what I wanted, but I wasn't disappointed either. It was, it was an match. It was the best they could do with 30 minutes, and it's pretty obvious that no one in the back has a clue what they're doing with this feud. They're just kind of doing whatever, and this is sort of the product of this. And they did their best. Everybody kind of got their spots in. Everybody had a good time. Pretty much that's all this was, is just a way to, for some reason or other, continue this feud. I don't understand it. It's not like there's any real... They keep bringing up Jeff's tooth over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. How, like, oh, Jeff got a tooth knocked out.
It's not the first time someone's had a tooth knocked out. It's been a bit overkill at this point.
So, again, I don't know why anybody would really care about this feud. It's not... There has been no logical reason for either of these teams to continue to dislike each other other than, you got my titles. And they don't even make a big deal about the titles.
Yeah, that kind of is the thing, is you could totally have a feud where the emphasis is entirely on the titles, but you should probably put it there, and it's really not been.
No, so, I mean, again, the match was good because the guys in there were good. It was, in my opinion, this was the match of the night. Other than Heath Slater versus Kurt Hawkins, spoiler alert. This was probably the match of the night, based on the fact that it was at least a match, and nothing else on here really was. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all all that you need to know. Everybody got in their standard everyday spots, and that was it.
The problem with this match in a nutshell is that a 30-minute Iron Man match in a tag team setting is really not impressive. And it kind of showed here because there's a lot of rushed finishes. Like, the thing is a standard tag team title match is 15 to 25 minutes. 15 on the low end, 25 on the high end. So 30 minutes is not all that long. And it kind of came up whenever the announcers were trying to hype up the Iron Man nature of this match. Like, there was a spot about 25 minutes into the match where it's like, where did Jeff Hardy get this energy from? Where has he found this additional gas tank? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe other matches he's wrestled where he's wrestled for more than 25 minutes.
Literally.
I mean, this is a tag match, so he's effectively actually only been in there for maybe 15.
Where did he get all this energy from? I don't know. It's the same energy he's got to have for every match he's ever in.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, that was kind of bad. On the bright side, there were two really actually pretty creative... There were three, I would say, really creative falls here. Matt Hardy did a super twist of fate off of the ring post on Cesaro for the first fall for the Hardys. And then there was also a nice backslide combination where Matt Hardy backslid Cesaro... Yeah, it was Cesaro. And then Jeff did like a split-legged cover thing. That was pretty cool. And then there was a Swanton bomb that Jeff hit on Sheamus, but Sheamus was not the legal man. Cesaro comes in, he's the legal man. He pins Jeff and actually got the win, 4-3 for the champions. They retain. Although, I will say that last bit also points out the problem I've always had with the Swanton bomb is that it seems to take more out of Jeff than the guy he's actually hitting.
Yeah.
Because he hit a move and got pinned.
Pretty much, yeah. it's pretty standard again stuff. This was all standard.
If you spread this match out over 60 minutes, you could work in some more creative spots and actually have a really good match. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think this is a key as to why we don't have Iron Man tag team matches much. Is that 30 minutes is not impressive. Even an hour wouldn't even be that impressive. But at least it's something.
Yeah,
you've got to really invest in it.
Yeah, and I made a comment while this match was going on that it would be more, if this was going to be 30 minutes, at least make it a tag tornado match and just have both guys in the ring on both teams. Then you can have like a legit interesting match. This was just a tag team match that happened to not end until 30 minutes.
Yeah, on the Dixie Carter stuff, I was right in stating it. She is currently a special advisor to TNA, which I'm assuming will be changed to Global Force Wrestling with the change, and she is a minority shareholder in the company. So she's not in charge anymore. Is basically the change, but she's still financially involved in the company. Then we had Xavier Woods pimping Rocket League, which I'm down with. I'm actually excited for this WWE Rocket League tournament.
Yeah, I will. Mio and I will take on any tag team you got.
We had a Cena and Rusev package.
Yeah.
State of your pay-per-view here is I've bought this pay-per-view, and you're advertising the next pay-per-view to me on this pay-per-view.
I don't understand why they're
am I not the guy? Like, if I had bought Great Balls of Fire, your theoretically least prestigious pay-per-view, why the hell wouldn't I already be buying Battleground?
Yeah.
You're just annoying me. So, there's that, and then we had a Bliss and Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks package. This was the truly unneeded package of the night. I don't require that. And then we went to Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. Couple things here. The double jointed spot where Alexa Bliss dislocated her shoulder. Pretty cool. The announcers oversold it, though, because we've seen this before. This isn't new. So that was a bit of a killer on it. They teased the intentional countout spot from Bliss. We get a pretty decent bank statement rope break, and really, pretty good match all around. Bliss eventually does get counted out intentionally, so she keeps the belt. We get a post-match brawl where Bliss is going to put Banks through the announce table, but Banks escapes, knocks Bliss down into, for lack of a better word, the pit, and then hits her with it was supposed to be a double knee, but it was really more of a pie in the sky to save her own knees.
Use my new name. Use the new name I came up with.
Oh, what was the new name you came up with?
It's the Vag Daminator.
Oh, the Vag Daminator. Right. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No. I mean, this is a pay-per-view. I kind of expect things to be resolved on pay-per-views, and nothing is. For the majority of all of these things, nothing's solved, nothing's resolved, nothing's done, nothing's dealt with. So, yeah, this is sort of a continuation of their last pay-per-view where all of the heels won for no particular reason. And the match itself was fine. Nothing wrong with it. Didn't have any issues. And that's the best I can really say for it.
Did Bliss turn anything around, in your opinion, a little bit?
No.
Okay. Just asking.
She's adequate, I suppose, in the ring. That's the best I can really say for her.
The recap of Tozawa and Titus was here, and then we went on to Miz versus Dean Ambrose. Take it away, sir.
Ooh, Fluffy versus Scruffy. I literally didn't watch the match. I was not paying attention. It was so boring. Other than I occasionally would glance at the screen, and I'd see the Miz do something incredibly delicately in a wrestling ring, and just go, "Oh, you poor bastard. You think you're a wrestler, it's adorable." And then I'd go back to just kind of cruising the internet.
I did like the opening of the match. Ambrose came out with some fire. He's beating up Miz. He beat up Axel a little bit. He beat up Bo Dallas a little bit. And
all standard stuff.
It's standard, but it was at least well done. Like, you're not going to get anything non-standard out of this match, so expectations are, somewhat low. But the problem is once Miz took over, I mean, it's not good. He's
so delicate.
Like, there are some things the Miz does reasonably well. His chain wrestling, for example, actually is not terrible. There was a time when it was god awful, but it's not terrible, not per se good, but if you emphasize that, you could put on a decent match. Problem is they keep trying to go back to the Daniel Bryan ripoff stuff with the it kicks and things that are supposed to be impactful and nasty, like drop kicks to the knee and stuff, and he's not good at them. There's no impact to them, and if there's no impact to them, they just don't look very good. And that was the story of this match for large sections of it.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, every time I glanced at the screen, it was Miz doing another super soft, ultra delicate. I mean, dude might as well do toilet paper commercials. It's so soft. I'm so soft, I might as well be anal tissue.
I'm Temply. The ending coming with, Maurice saves the match for The Miz at one point where he eats a Dirty Deeds and Maurice pulls his foot onto the ropes, and eventually he wins with the skull-crushing finale with heavy distraction from Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel.
Yarp.
And also they attacked Ambrose outside the ring as well. Then we get a Strowman and Reigns promo package. I don't have a problem with this promo package because it's good, but it's good to have this package, but the package itself actually made all my problems with this feud so self-evident. Like, there's a bit where Roman Reigns is like, I cannot be beaten one-on-one, right after it's been showing him beating up an injured Braun Strowman with a steel chair. Yeah. It's like, how is that supposed to prove your point in any way? Like, I understand this is a package made up and it's not Roman Reigns saying this, but to a degree, should the package not be backing up at least what your face is trying to say? Although, Roman Reigns' face status after this match probably in considerable question, but he's going into the match as a face. You should not beat one-on-one, you beat a one-armed man with a steel chair in this package. Like, I understand he did beat Braun Strowman in some matches one-on-one, so there is that going for him.
In one match. He beat him in one match.
Yeah, one match, but it's like Finn Balor beat you one-on-one, Samoa Joe's got a pair of wins on you one-on-one.
Kevin Owens beat him, John Cena beat him.
Yeah,
I can literally go down the roster pointing out all the people who beat Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
so
it's like,
don't highlight that statement, you idiots.
Yeah. So, yeah, they highlight the falsities in Roman Reigns' bit. Again, it feels like he's supposed to be the face, but it feels like he's supposed to be the heel. He's supposed to be the lying heel. Mm-hmm. I don't understand who... Like, this isn't about listening to fans, because I understand WWE does not listen to the fans. It's what Vince McMahon wants. But it's like, alright, Vince, you want Roman Reigns to be a face. Book him as a face. He's booked as a heel. It's terrible. On to the match. The match itself was not terrible. It was what I expected it to be. You're not going to get a proper ambulance match in today's day and age, which is why you really shouldn't book it. But okay. It was, it had some hard-hitting bits. It had some good stuff from both guys. It had some plunder from the ambulance. The only thing I really had a problem with was Roman Reigns, or not Reigns, Strowman selling the collision with the screens that they broadcast like the Raw logo on. Yeah. Those are not that hard. They're made out of paper. He sold it like Shane McMahon. He sold it more than Shane McMahon sold the glass that he got suplexed through by Kurt Angle. Yeah. It's not good.
Yeah, he got slammed into some cardboard or paper or something like that, and he's oh my god, I'm dying, I'm the monster among men, and I'm dying to paper.
It's kind of an interesting spot because of the noise the screen makes, but don't sell it like it shouldn't end a match. Not between two big monsters like this. Between Bliss and you could do it like between Sasha Banks and Bliss.
They're tiny. They're totally susceptible to damage.
Yeah. But these two? No, neither of them should sell that really for, anything, really. Maybe get up a little woozy or something. That's about the extent of it.
I mean, Braun Strowman should just walk right through it. It's like, you're going to send me... Okay, cool. What next? Because that's nothing. I bench press ambulances. What are you thinking?
I am capable of lifting this ambulance.
He should literally block the move, shake his head, slap Roman across the face, saunter forward and push the screen down, and then come back and slap Roman in the face again for being an idiot.
I like the finish, though. Roman Reigns going for the spear and Strowman sidestepping and having him just go in the ambulance.
That was well timed.
That was cool, but then it went really...
That's not what the match is about.
Yeah, but then it went really downhill because Roman just gets out of the ambulance, lays a little bit of a beating on Braun, once again using the ambulance as a weapon, and throws him in it, closes it up, drives him out into the not parking lot, but the back loading area, I guess, and tries to kill Braun Strowman. So, The face of your company has just attempted murder.
This is the second time in 6 months that your main face for the title has committed a fucking felony.
Yeah, I have nothing else to say other than Roman Reigns better turn heel after this. Like, that's the only outcome I will be acceptable with. Or he gets arrested and, like, literally never comes back. Like, these are the two options. You have anything else you want to add to this?
No, this was disappointing. This is not an ambulance match, other than there was an ambulance there, and the guy, I guess, went inside of an ambulance, but this isn't it. It's not it. Sorry, you fucked up. It looks like Super Samoan man just skates away into the sunset again, scot-free, no damage dealt. No reason for me to cheer for him. No.
I'd say they're giving you more reason to boo him. The man just attempted to murder someone.
And then on screen attempted homicide. So vehicular homicide, no less. Mm-hmm. So this was stupid. It wasted all of my time, and I hated it. Actually, I mean, the match itself was tolerable, but the actual implications and the execution and all of that stuff are awful, wasteful.
It's a waste of Roman Reigns, and it's a waste of Braun Strowman.
Yeah, I expected something to be done in this match. Again, nothing was done in this match.
I mean, I guess the aftermath was, like, if you told me, okay, we're going to have an ambulance match so Roman Reigns could attempt to murder someone.
The only positive I can come up with is that at least Strowman's getting some Roman Reigns booking where he doesn't have to take damage either. So he can just kind of saunter off into the sunset. He'll be miraculously completely healed by, about noon tomorrow, and it'll be fine. They'll go back and nudge each other playfully on Raw, and it'll all be fine. It'll be fine, and no one will be hurt, and no one will care, and no one gets over, and nothing gets solved, and the end, I guess.
I suppose. Anyway, so we ended up with a Heath Slater versus Kurt Hawkins killing time match, which I like this. I enjoyed this part.
Possibly match of the night.
I enjoyed this booking idea. It kind of sold the idea of the unexpected nature of this. We got to get the ambulance and the thing. I will say though that they make a big deal about the jaws of light being needed to open up a ambulance side door, and I'm just like, one, why is it locked? It's kind of my first problem. Like, should that door not be, like, openable?
I think they were trying to sell the fact that they slammed it so hard that it was now sealed shut. They couldn't use, like, you'd see Jamie Noble repeatedly try to open the door with the handle, but it was obviously not working. So
the problem is it's not very well sold because the ambulance door itself is not very thick. You can break that lock if, like, Big Show takes a crowbar to it.
But they have already sold the fact that it's not that it's locked, it's sealed shut. Like, he physically cannot open it.
But the problem is then you open it up with the jaws of life and it's clearly not actually jammed.
Fair enough.
To be clear,
not that the jaws of life do.
Not that the jaws of life do. It's that if you look at the, like, debris of, like, the jaws of life opening up, it's like, no, the internal structure is actually completely intact. This door would have opened.
Okay, he definitely tried to open it, and it definitely didn't open, so they definitely couldn't open it, or at least they gimmicked it enough, or maybe locked it. Anyway, they sold the fact that it was not openable.
I suppose, but
I don't know what else you want them to do. Is if they hand you some snow and tell you it's snow, and you say, well, but I don't believe you, then it's it's still snow.
You do what they've done with like almost every other spot like this. You take the guy out of the vehicle and actually smash the fuck out of it so that the door is actually broken.
They could do that, but in a live pay-per-view, they don't really have time to do that, or the ability to do a presto change-out gimmick switch.
Oh, you definitely do. They took long enough with the cutaway and Roman Reigns staring intently into the rearview mirror, and like it totally could have been done.
I disagree strongly.
I think you could do it. It's been done live before. I'm not asking them to do something they've never done.
I can't think of another time that they've smashed two vehicles or smashed an
when
entire
they
vehicle in
completely
less than 10
destroyed
seconds.
a car underneath a tractor trailer that was supposed to have Triple H in it.
Yeah, but he just got out the other side.
Off camera.
No, on camera. You just climb out the other side.
He was no, like you could see that, dude. Like they paused long enough and put a shot up of something else for him to get out. Like he did totally just get out the side, but that's why you do it while Roman Reigns is doing. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I've locked a guy in an ambulance. There's only one thing I can do, which is attempted homicide.
Yeah, well, I don't have a clue what spot you're referencing, but it's real easy. You just get in one side and out the other. It's an easy. You just put
This
the camera.
isn't that hard
in
either, though.
It's a little bit more difficult to smash up a second.
It's slightly more. It's more difficult, but it's not unfeasible with what they have done before.
I disagree again. I mean, the difference between walking in one door and out the other is a little bit more than smashing.
What
two
about the
entire
spot
ambulances.
where Steve Austin destroyed a car from the top of a crane with someone in it live on TV?
You just walk in one door and out the other.
Walk in where?
You climb. If
No.
you throw somebody in one door, they just crawl out the other side.
No. They had a shot of the guy up on the crane, still in the car. And he
Okay.
still got out before being dumped.
Well, yeah, but that's a pre-taped segment on
It
a
wasn't.
TV show.
It was actually live.
Okay, cool. I doubt it, but okay, cool.
They can do this. They can make this happen. Anyways, this is a small thing. It wouldn't have made this better, so whatever. This was still shit. Apparently Slater won off camera. That actually kind of sold it that more to me. That was pretty cool.
Well, the fact that they were coming down and both these guys were putting their gear on while they're doing this.
Yeah, that also sold it.
This is... Whoever booked this was actually paying attention to how life works. Oh my god.
This person requires more power in the company.
Exactly. Here's the deal. You guys are going to go down and you're not going to be prepared. Well, what do you mean? But we have to be totally prepared at all times.
Also, I'd be interested if anyone was in the arena. What was the finish?
Yeah, that would be good to know.
I imagine just DDT or something, but still, I'd be interested.
Can we have less people using the DDT? Everybody on their fucking...
Oh, it's become a standard move, and again, the problem is the DDTs in this, like this. I completely botched saying that. DDT is in this weird middle area where, like, a lot of people are using kind of modified DDTs as finishers. See Dirty Deeds, and everyone else is using it as like not even really a signature move, and it's like, okay, so either this move is a standard move or it's a finisher. Let's decide on that if we could. And the answer is it really can't be a finisher anymore. You've killed it dead. But
yeah, Dirty Deeds is really bad, and he should really stop using it.
Yeah. Like, maybe a woman can use a DDT as a finisher because, women use moves that are not finishers all the time as finishers. But a dude really can't be using the DDT as a finisher at this point. Like, it should just be standard move, more or less everyone does it, roll on. Kind of like we've done with the side slam and, to a degree, the super kick.
Yeah, that's true.
Then we had a Joe Lesnar package, and then we had Joe Lesnar. Take it away.
This was a standard WWE Raw match. Nothing special. It was actually a colossal waste of a build-up. Nothing was resolved. Nothing happened. Lesnar got the win after being in a rear naked choke, a super soft rear naked choke.
That kind of bugged me.
So this match was 6 minutes 25 seconds, and I'm going to say 4 minutes of that was was in choke, and miraculously Lesnar F5'd him one time for the win. This was a massive waste of time. For the big build-up that you gave it, the big fight feel, the intro to the match was great, with Joe attacking Lesnar early and kind of getting an advantage, and he pulled some heel tactics. He gave him the donkey kick between the legs for another advantage, and he continually kind of clawed a little bit here, a little bit there, get a little bit more, take another piece out of him, and it's just a waste of time. Just a total waste of time. Might as well not have had this match. It sure shit shouldn't have been on the pay-per-view. It sure shit shouldn't have been less than 6.5 minutes long. And yeah, I mean, this was something that I would expect to be a curtain jerker on Raw, basically.
I'm much more fond of this match. Like, it was a reasonably good hitting affair. I really enjoyed it. I will, however, agree the finish kind of killed it for me, because the finish was, frankly, retarded. Yeah, you got this big, rear naked choke spot, super soft, by the way, which annoys me because you got a guy who actually did MMA in there, and Samoa Joe, who's very good at the MMA stuff, and you completely failed to give me, like, a really good choke spot. Like, I was mystified by that. Yeah. I was even saying, like, Joe keeps going for these no hooks rear naked choke, and if you're an MMA fan, you know that should not work. That's like the Crow Cop Pat Barry submission hold, where it's like, I'm just gonna wrap my arms around your neck and choke you. It's not how it's supposed to work. There's hooks, there's body pressure, and Joe does this. Like, he does hooks, he does a proper rear naked choke, and for some reason in this match, it's like, no, we're going super soft with it. We're going 10-ply with it. We're going with, like, this choke should not work levels of execution. So that was bad. And the finish was bad because Lesnar just gets the win after an F5. And, like, I knew Lesnar was going to win. I knew this was also going to be a relatively short match because looking at the clock, there was, like, 12 minutes on the clock when they started running the entrances, basically, and that which ate up a bunch more time as well. And even, like, it did go overtime with a 6.5-minute match. Congratulations. But that includes a spot where Lesnar's out on the floor after being sent through the announce table, which that part was good. There were some really good things in this match, and it makes me really excited to see these two have a match. The problem is that the pay-per-view is where you're supposed to pay that off for me. And while there were things, again, that were good, the ending sucked. The execution of the choke spot sucked. And that killed it as a poor match. I'd give this 2.5 stars, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, if I was to give it a star rating, it may be 1.5. It wasn't a total waste of time. You might as well just not have done it. You might as well just save this for, like, a dark match after Raw. I don't even know if... I mean, you could put it at the beginning of the third hour to try and maybe hook some people in and keep them excited, but that's the death spot, and that's the best you're going to get for this. It was I keep saying waste of time, and it's a waste of time. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I'm not as negative as you, but I am negative on it. I mean, I was kind of digging it until the end, and then, ugh, what the hell? These two guys should know how to do MMA spots correctly, and I know that they do, but I don't know. Maybe Lesnar just didn't want to eat the full choke or something? I don't know. So, going on from here, we should have closure on the Enzo Cass thing, because where the fuck is that supposed to go? The Joe Lesnar thing should also, I guess, have closure, because why am I supposed to be interested in seeing Joe, who jumped a man, Pearl Harbored him, took him through a table, and still couldn't finish him?
Well, I mean, you're supposed to be interested because Joe got up after the F5 and gave him an evil glare.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
That's all you need to sell a whole fucking feud these days.
Yeah, fuck that shit. Why am I supposed to be interested in seeing Hardys and Sheamus and Cesaro continue? I mean, at this point, that feud should end. I guess Bliss versus Banks. I'm not overly interested in the feud, but I mean, okay, if you were interested in the feud, I guess you're interested in seeing this continue. please God, let this be the end of Miz and Ambrose, and please God, let Strowman and Reigns be off TV for a while. Either because Reigns is suspended or on the run from the law, and Braun Strowman because dude just got in a massive car crash with an ambulance.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the times for these matches. The ambulance match was 16 and a half minutes, and that's probably 10 minutes too long for a match that's supposed to be all power spots and Impact. 16 and a half minutes?
So, I wouldn't say that 16 and a half minutes is the problem. It would work if other matches tended to be like kind of that long. But yeah, the rest of the card, outside of the 30-minute Man Iron match, which, by the way, had a fall within the first minute, you have 5:25, 12:10, 11:40, 11:20, 2:10, that's Slater and Hawkins, and 6:25. So yeah, stands out as too long in the environment that it has been put into.
Yeah, also they gave Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins way too much time. There's no reason they should have had the match in the first place. They shouldn't have had the feud in the first place. But, that being said, since they did have a match on this pay-per-view, they shouldn't have been going this long. And on the pre-show, they only gave Neville and Tozawa not quite 12 minutes. You got an hour to fill. An hour!
No, but they got to do preview stuff, which... I'm sorry, you're trying to do preview stuff like your UFC or a real sporting event. It doesn't work. I'm not interested in it. I don't care. It's a pre-scripted thing. Your expert analysis is... What is it supposed to be?
Garbage.
Well, there's no logic to who wins matches anyways.
On top of that, they're hyping up matches that have hype packages before the match.
Yeah.
And then they have recap hype packages after the match has been performed, and then they can hype the recap. Just fucking stop. Just stop.
You basically spend 45 minutes, we'll say, pimping the card that's coming up, and I mean that's a similar pre-show to UFC pay-per-view. The difference is that in a UFC pay-per-view, you're hearing from fighters about who's going to win the fight and giving a technical breakdown and like aspects of that, actual analysis, because this is a real fight. Wrestling is supposed to be a real fight. I get it, kayfabe and all, but there's no logic to who wins. It actually kind of hit me during the Alexa Bliss Banks match, and to a degree also during the Talking Smack or Raw Talk, whatever it was that was after the show, where Sasha Banks is talking about how fake Alexa Bliss is and how she doesn't really want to be a wrestler and everything, and I'm like, okay, then why is she a wrestler? Like kayfabe wise, because this is kind of like, I'm gonna go do UFC to get famous. No, you're not. You're gonna kill yourself.
Yeah.
That should be kind of the same thing with pro wrestling to a degree. And it kind of comes up every time. Like you get one of these. You used to get like the lingerie models that John Laurinaitis would employ out of the catalog and stuff, and a couple of them are even still around. And it's like, why are you a character? I don't even really understand why you're a wrestler. You don't seem to want to fight. And there should be other ways for an attractive lady to get exposure.
Mm-hmm. And also I must say that the commentary was complete trash pretty much all night.
Oh yeah, Corey Graves was on hardcore heel mode, which is never fun.
No. And also, I don't know who's doing the...
Pretty sure it was Booker T.
But that guy needs to just have the throat removed from his body, because I never need to hear that ever again for any reason.
So, I guess this is the similar problems of what we talked about repetitively before. So, not really anything new, but...
No.
It is making it really hard to justify WWE pay-per-views at this point.
Correct. Which is why... they're putting them up for free on the network because they know they're not worth paying for.
It's also making it very difficult to justify the network, though.
Yeah.
And that's not a lot of money to justify. Like, honestly, at this point, it's really for more historical watching old stuff.
Yarp.
Which was good. Like, this is the thing, is... I don't understand how an industry that has the blueprint for what can work will ignore said blueprint for a really long time. And I understand people are going to say they make a lot of money, they make more money now than ever, That's because you have more revenue streams than ever. You have the network. You have internet access for everyone. Like, there was a time when I had friends in school, for example, who could not watch wrestling because they didn't have a TV package. And we weren't in, like, a tremendously poor area. It's just, parents don't want to watch TV. So there you go. Nowadays, you got internet in most households. You got exposure. You've got ease of ordering stuff online to get, like, merchandise and stuff. The irony is that I have more WWE merchandise from a time when I had to beg my parents to let me use their credit card, pay them back, and believe me, this was a difficult thing because my mom was not down with wrestling in any way, shape, or form. Yet I still have more merchandise from the late 90s, early 2000s when I had to ask my parents for their credit card and permission to get stuff than currently, where I can just go to www.shop.com and order something with my own credit card or with PayPal and have it delivered.
I only own one wrestling t-shirt, and that's Cactus Jack, and I bought that off of a website that had nothing to do with WWE.
I do have a couple of WWE, WWF at the time, shirts. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of my point is you taking fans like me who would spend money on the product, very much would, and are making me really not want to spend money on the product.
No, I don't know what they're doing. I have a suspicion that maybe there's some weird conspiracy to run things down and discredit Vince so that they can take over. But
why would Vince allow that to happen?
Because Vince is old and Vince doesn't know what he's doing. Or at least that's what it seems like.
And the other thing is he owns too much of a majority in the company to actually be displaced via that kind of, like, he has to want to leave or die.
Maybe we'll just make him want to leave it.
Or mental defect, I suppose. There are some ways the board could remove him for that, I suppose.
He is a bit wacky. Maybe they should look at that.
But I can't point to a match on this pay-per-view that I have more positive to say about than negatives.
Yeah, I would say most of these matches were standard Raw mid-card matches, and that's being kind of generous, and then the bad ones were just kind of very ignorable and probably should be on main event.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Like, I would love to see a real Joe and Lesnar match. I would love to see a proper Iron Man match for the tag team titles that isn't condensed to 30 minutes. Nothing else I would really want to revisit. But
nope.
Yeah, well, Slater Hawkins I'd like to revisit. Actually, bit of a mark for both of them. They actually do a good job.
I had a really cool... Actually, while we were waiting for this bullshit to actually finish, I came up with a really cool angle on how to use Slater and all that stuff, but maybe we'll explore that at a different time.
Indeed, so we'll move off to WWE Raw tomorrow night, and we'll see what the fallout is, and we'll see if there's anything good.
Don't worry, no fallout, everybody's fine, nothing happened.
I hope to God there's fallout. Like, see, we had attempted murder here.
Nah, that's fine.
Alright, so until next time, stay up Byron's lawn. It's newly sodded.
Whoa.
And that's really about it. I don't have a lawn to get on.
Giggity.